So today we're going to talk about how to be a leader, right? Oh man, there's books galore and TED Talks and an infinite amount of information out there on how to be a good leader, right? And then you'll see 1,000 different opinions on what that means to be a good leader, what it looks like, all those different things. So for me, just some backstory, right? I did a little over 10 years in Special Forces. Obviously a lot of that as a senior or in senior leadership positions, all the way up to managing operations, right? So what and then also I have a civilian education, undergrad and graduate degree studies in leadership as well. So a ton of my life in the last 10 years has been focused on leadership. So I do think I have a lot of experience and a unique perspective on leadership. Coming from Special Forces, there's a lot of toxic leadership in SF, just like there is in everything else in the world, but there's also the best leaders in the entire planet. It's not surprising that Fortune 500 companies, come to special operation teams to try to see how leaders are doing things, right? Because it's not just that we're so good at being leaders, but we're leaders in an environment that is the most high risk, highly dynamic environments that exist. So failures in leadership can lead to catastrophic results, right? So it's super important that we have really good leadership in special operations. So I boiled down, after thinking about it for a long time, the 4 main points that I've seen that have made great leaders. So I've been very fortunate to have some amazing leaders, team sergeants, team leaders, even seniors on different teams throughout my career, even up until when I was a senior leader on a team. These are the 4 things that I've seen sort of every great leader has. None of these are missing from them, okay? So number 1 is that they're authentic and genuine, okay? This is critical. Everybody knows a fake. Everybody knows a liar, right? Especially as a leader. Okay, and genuine in their earnest care about the guys and girls that they're leading, right? You have to genuinely care about your men and women really more than yourself, and care about their success and their growth really more about your own and your perceived performance in front of maybe above peers, right? There can be some crossover in that where you're taking bullets for your guys, right? But so that's a big one, is you have to be genuine. You have to be authentic. You can't fake the funk in leadership. I've seen guys who try it, and everybody knows they're selfish and they really don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. And eventually the truth comes out, right? So the best leaders are always ones who I knew genuinely cared about me, my family, my kids. So what's the next one? Number 2 is, and there might be some argument about this, but I wholeheartedly believe in this, is you have to be an actual subject matter expert, okay? Not from academia, not from what you might have learned, from someone else. You have to be an actual expert. So, my team sergeants I had were the most knowledgeable guys on the team in everything, right? They were the guys that knew basically anything you had to ask. They knew. They were the subject matter experts of everything Special Forces, from tactics to mission planning. And so the reason for that is, nobody really wants to follow someone that hasn't done it themselves. Okay, so you see this a lot in things like business school, right? Where you have an instructor or professor who's teaching you about business, but they've never actually run or owned a business in their lives, right? They just teach it in academia, right? Like, nobody really has an utmost respect for that type of position of authority, right? Really don't. Everybody wants the guy or girl that has done it themselves and is one of the best at doing it. So that's what I've definitely seen. Some of the most respected leaders are the ones who are the experts in their craft, right? So Number 3, and this one I really lend to. I think it's the most important one out of all of them. I think it's the most benefit to the people that you're leading, and that is you have to have a mentorship mentality, right? So what does that actually look like? So mentorship is much more than delegating authority, right? I'm not just telling you to do things and expecting to get them done. My focus is the culmination of your professional development, right? So when I'm having you do things, I'm having you do them for a reason that's going to cultivate, you know, that soldier's professional development, right? The whole focus is basically on training your replacement, right? I'm trying to impart every bit of knowledge, expertise, everything I have into this younger generation, right? I'm not withholding information so that way, you know, I can show off or I can get the best performance reviews. That's not what's important. What's important is developing. Coaching is another good word for it, or mentoring those that I'm in charge of. Okay, so yes, of course, there's always going to be times, especially on missions and things like that, I need to just tell you what to do and I need you to do it, right? But you know, in training and all those things, we really should be striving to develop our younger soldiers, or if you're a business and business ownership, your new employees, whoever it might be, right? Train somebody to take your job, right? And do it better than you. And you'll find not only that, but taking that approach with people, right? Really earnestly wanting to develop them and make them better. They are going to appreciate it, right? I've had so many younger guys tell me, you know, when I've gotten to leave teams, how much they appreciate the fact that and it goes back to sort of that genuine authenticity. I really made them feel like their self-development was one of the most important things to me, and it is, right? And to be honest, I'll tell you guys, once you get up to the senior levels of leadership, it becomes far more rewarding and satisfying to watch, you know, your young soldiers that you've been mentoring and training succeed than it is to succeed yourself. You stop really caring about that side of the things, right? Like your own, I stopped going to schools really and things like that. Didn't really care. I just wanted to make sure I was developing the new and younger guys and even the older guys on my team, right? In my later years, as I had so much experience. So yeah, be a mentor. So, and again, you don't have to be a senior leader to be a mentor, right? You could be anybody that can help mentor. You know, you could be the newest guy who's been at the company for 6 months and a brand new person shows up. You can be their mentor, guys. Never miss out on an opportunity to mentor and coach someone, because you'll get a lot of self-development and satisfaction out of it yourself. And then the last one, all of these things will tie into this one together, right? And that is trust. And trust goes both ways. Trust from the subordinates to the leader, and then trust from the leader to the subordinates. You have to have it. Trust is a key in that relationship. And, you know, you have to develop it. Well, how do you develop that trust? Well, it goes back to the three things before, right? Authenticity and being genuine, right? When I'm genuinely involved in trying to make what's best for you, right? You are going to know that, understand that, feel that, and you're going to trust me, right? And then also being a subject matter expert is huge, right? For trust. Why? Because when I tell you I need you to do something, especially in combat and a whim's notice, you're going to trust that I know what I'm talking about and I'm not leading you astray and sending you off to do something stupid to get you killed, right? Because I am the subject matter expert in whatever this is. So that's where being a subject matter expert is really important, is that it's going to cultivate that trust between you and your subordinates. And that mentorship coaching, again, this sort of comes back into that authenticity, but you know, when you're really putting effort and work and time and investing in your subordinates, they're going to feel it, right? And they're going to know that, and they're going to trust you, right? All of these things together start building that network of trust. And that network of trust, once you have it, especially, you know, an entire, let's say a team, when the entire team trusts the team leadership, guys, you're going to have, and also vice versa, right? The leadership knows, hey, if I put this out, I need something done, I can trust my guys are going to do everything they can to get it done for me, right? Those are the teams that are amazing teams. Those are the teams that are high functioning teams. And those teams, again, it all boils down to the leadership. If the leadership is doing those things that I'm talking about, you're going to have a good team. Even if your guys are brand new, you have to build this up over 6 months to a year, your team's going to be better than the team that doesn't, the leadership doesn't do these things, and has a toxic relationship with their subordinates and whatnot. So those of you who are, you know, in the military or law enforcement, you're moving up into positions of authority, take these things to heart, man. Authenticity, be genuine, be a subject matter expert, right? Be a mentor, and, you know, cultivate that trust. If you can do those 4 things, I guarantee you guys, you will be a fantastic leader, and you will get the feedback from your subordinates about how great of a leader you have been to them. So hope that advice helps, and have a good day, guys.